James Perspective.
Like, think about how many people make decisions based on insurance. What even is that?
I got into it a little bit with one of my leftist friends. Healthcare reform, what I see as healthcare reform, or what I thought was going to be healthcare reform, is not anything close to what we got.
You and 350 million people are having that conversation.
What we got? Well, what we got is like essentially expanded Medicare. You know what I mean? Like expanded care for those who don't have the ability to get insurance, paid for by those who already have insurance, or those who maybe didn't have insurance because they're young and don't need it.
Who as a result now don't have insurance.
It's crazy. And it's so expensive. My insurance is so expensive.
Me too, man. I'm actually paying for it myself. It's just catastrophic levels of money. And the more I actually wade into it, Tim, what you and I consider insurance, like our generation, like when you speak of that word, those things aren't even like there. The things that you assume you get out of insurance, you don't get. It's a bizarre thing.
Yeah, and it seems like it's happened over 10 years. When I first had insurance, it was insurance. You paid for the insurance. Right. When you went to the doctor, you did not pay anything. My mom she broke her ankle and had to have that surgery just for a little ankle break, $40,000. What if you had a real problem? Really, what should a surgery cost? The doctor is going to prep and do the surgery in what? 40 minutes, 30 minutes? What should he be paid for that? And what should the hospital be compensated for? For $40,000, I want like a month's worth of care.
So few people are buying insurance to put their own dollar that you can't even have this conversation. That's problem one. They don't even understand this. Number two, everything is not market-based. Like what that doctor is being paid, not market-based. Right. What you're paying, not market-based. And number three, the interesting thing is it even – I started thinking about this. Like when we talk about this communally, like we're all having these conversations thinking about who we're going to elect, everybody always talks about insurance. Like we got to get some dude insurance. I have insurance. It's garbage. That's not the solution. Like I'm really frustrated by the fact that why don't we start talking about how do we get like your mom to be able to afford ankle break? Like that's not insurance.
Yeah, is it reasonable to think in your lifetime will break your ankle? That's like a reasonable injury. Right. So what would you expect that to cost? Well, I go to the hospital. I get checked in the hospital. They take an X-ray. That maybe we're up to $500, $600 and what that should cost. Then they say, okay, it's broken. We got to do surgery. Then we do the surgery. The surgery is 45 minutes. What should that cost? Realistically, a couple grand. You know what I mean?
Right,
like a couple $1,000. Right. Even if it does cost you $400,000 to become a doctor, even if that's what it costs you, in 15 minutes to 45 minutes, you're getting say $2,500, 80 times a week on the low side.
But see, it's not the doctor's fault though. Too, there's another element to this because the doctor, he's just like he's in the stream just like all the salmon are, and we're just getting like pushed along in this current.
And I could break it down for you. I mean, he has to pay the hospital to operate in their hospital, and he has to do this. But we've created this whole thing where it's like, okay, why not just have a doctor who's good at most things? Maybe he's not going to do cancer, and he's not going to do this.
Specialized or whatever. Right.
But he can fix your ankle if you break it, or he can. He can check you out, or he can do this, or he can do that, or he could even do a colonoscopy. Like a guy that can do most of the things that most people need, and he's got an office, and he's got a nurse that works there, and that should be the paradigm. It's like the old. I feel like we had it right, and then we went to this giant corporate thing, and it doesn't work for anybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't work for anybody.
Dude, let me tell you, I think is that where we're going then? Because what's fascinating about where we're at is I don't actually know. I have no predictions by way of where it lands because I know it can't sustain itself at this point just based on my own experiences, not based on anybody else's experience, just based on my own family's experiences. This is like a totally unsustainable thing. But I don't even have a chance of predicting, and this is usually rare for guys like you and me because I like to think about stuff like this. Like I'm a conceptual thinker. If you put a gun to my head and said, where did this whole thing land? Like I literally have no idea. That's how convoluted it is. Like, you can't even find the thread to pull on to solve the problem. And I'm beginning to think that's all purposefully. That's all purposeful, so nobody ever solves the problem. So you can keep pounding us over the head with this nonsense. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is, if you're going to do that about taxes, or you're going to do that about some political sledgehammer, that's one thing. But you're dealing with people's health here. You know what I mean? You're dealing with, this is like a level of, like, governmental evil that I really don't even think people realize.
Well, I think it's like, look, if you and I were, young, like we're 20 years old, and I'm like, hey, you're going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer. If you ever need law help, I'll help you out. I'll get, my little law practice. You're a doctor. If I ever need a doctor, I'll come to you. You're my doctor.
Right.
And if I came to you and I was like, hey man, I broke my ankle. Can you fix this? Yeah, I can fix it next Tuesday. It'll be $2,500. You're probably gonna make more than what these doctors make that are in this system.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. So you think it's just straight up barter? You're just going straight barter with your prediction?
I just think you've added so many different things. How at these hospitals, they have they have thousands of people on staff. They have people nutritionists that all they do is decide how healthful the stuff that's in the cafeteria is. They have 15 of those people, and then they have 10 of these other people.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
You're paying for all of this stuff that is not your ankle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's true. That's true.
Is that what we want?
As I think about this with you, though, think about this. So this thing is a cluster F, basically. Like, everything's messed up. But the thing that's more interesting than that is to conceptualize the fact that the nation is such a financial force to be reckoned with that we were somehow able to take this, blow to the gut. No, it's not a blow to the gut. It's like a shank to the gut. It was like a prison shank to the body politics gut, and somehow we're still able to pull it off. Just imagine how good we would be doing if all the tomfoolery was gone, everybody involved had the best interests. You know what I mean? Everybody wasn't trying to be saboteurs, and it was just everybody was rowing the boat in the same direction. Just imagine how much goodness could be going down. That's another way to look at it. You know what I mean? This is all happening while somebody's setting fire to the ship internally, and we're still somewhat keeping it together. That's a remarkable thing in and of itself.
The Brock Lawley Show.